I'm Jim Fay, long-time resident of Anani, and during COVID I thought I might do something, so I decided to build myself a little, it was supposed to be a mobile, started off a mobile pontoon, something I just push into the water and push out so the kids could jump on it, and it just escalated from there. I thought, well, I might get something that I could drive in and out. Then when I needed to drive it in and out, it needed to float, so I had to get flotation. Then I had to get something to hold the flotation on. Then I had to get a motor to drive it. And so to turn, I had to get have it driven like a bobcat or a dozer, so either side drives independently. So I did that with 2 hydraulic motors and a hydraulic pump, driven by a 10 horsepower Honda motor, and it all just sort of escalated. I just worked away until I finished it.
Hey guys, welcome back. Something a little bit different this time. My father-in-law Jim has built this awesome custom amphibious vehicle, and I recently had the opportunity to shoot some footage of it in action and learn a bit about how it works. Let's check it out. While Jim has described this machine as the result of escalated ideas, this is in reality a prototype for a capable multi-terrain, multi-environment vehicle. The potential for this machine is easy to see.
This one does 3 kilometres an hour on water or land. I'd rather get someone who could get it doing variable speeds up to say 15 kilometres an hour. And the thing about it, it'd go over snow or ice or quicksand, it'd go over anything.
The design and material properties of the tracks provide the machine with stable buoyancy and motive force. This small dam on his farm is a great test environment to demonstrate its capabilities.
There's no wash because it's just bringing the back flotation and putting it at the front. It sits stable in the water, so it's not churning to get its speed, it just walks on the water.
The transition from water to the steep banks where he never had to get out of the seat is a huge advantage over a regular boat.
I think for all different things you'd have to modify it a little bit differently for everything. Like if you're on ice you'd have to have little spikes on it so it wouldn't slip. On snow, probably as it is. I've had it through weeds and reeds, it just sort of walks through them.
I can easily imagine this machine moving through snow or over sand dunes, and like Jim mentioned, gearing it for higher speeds would only make it more capable.
The weakest part of my system is the drive, because it's only just, I have rubber grommets grabbing onto the kegs where there's no real grip, so it's just a matter of the amount of tension I've got. I can put more tension on it. The other thing is keeping it straight. The way I've designed it, it has nothing to keep it straight on the kegs except for the guide rails on the sides. If you designed it, you'd do it a little bit differently so they just couldn't go sideways.
That's come off that wheel as well.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, but the grip, I think it's just come off the outside there.
That. Yeah, like, there's too much, the long grass just holds it, I can't turn it.
Yeah, I thought you've got to go like this.
Yeah, it's just,
to go, yeah.
See the grip that way? Yeah. It's too strong for the motor. Okay. It's just, you got to have something like that just slides sideways.
Yep.
But that's just holds the line too well.
Yeah, okay. How did it go?
Everything went well except I snapped a weld.
Which weld is that?
There's one here that's holding the pump level.
Yeah.
Welding across there. I had trouble with my eyes and a welder, so get some young bloke to fix it. I started off, I was just going to make a pontoon just for the kids to swim out on because I had 4 beer kegs. And I thought, well, I've got a bit of floatage, I might as well see if I can just push it in and out, so I don't need an axle. And when I did that I thought, well, why can't I drive it in and out? And then it just escalated. Once I did that I needed tracks, I needed flotation, I needed a motor that was strong enough, and I needed hydraulics to drive each side individually. So I just sort of built and built and built to what I've got. These are just 9-inch drainage pipes filled with foam so they can't leak, and they have an aluminium capping on them, so it's all very solid. This stuff is very solid. I've found since I built it, there's too much traction sideways, makes it a little bit hard to steer on land, but it's very easy to steer on water.
Is that the rivulets that cause the traction in one direction on land?
Yeah, there's too much traction for the length of the machine. Like a bulldozer's got, the small one's 70 or 80 horsepower turning it. This has got 10 horsepower trying to do the same job, and it's just a bit too much for it.
Yep.
So these have to be altered.
Okay.
So that we can steer. Probably just need something that may go a bit faster. Need someone who knows what they're doing, I suppose, to make a really good job of it.
What's the motor?
We've got a 10 horsepower petrol motor that drives a hydraulic pump here. The pump goes down to 2 motors, which with the levers they go forward or backwards. So each one here, this one where I've just had a little problem, so it just turns forward or backwards.
Yep.
So you just steer it like a tractor or a dozer or a bobcat.
Cool.
On water or on land. And you just sit there, and when you get out the water it's quite stable, you can fish off it, do what you like. Just you step up, simple as that. I have my seat. These are whole manual controls, or if I'm just driving along I can just use they just touch the pedals so I can drive one side or the other. Reverse, I have to lift it up. Down for forward, up for reverse. So when down I'm just driving along, just use the pedals.
Yeah.
That's as simple as that.
Easy.
Hands there just on your knee, just reverse. When you're going forward you can just relax and just drive it forward.
That's the one.
Both pedals.
What's the green edition there?
I don't know where that came from. I think my wife put it there as a joke because I'm a non-drinker.
Fuel. What's the size of the fuel tank? It's diesel, petrol.
Oh, it's just an ordinary petrol tank. About 8 litres, and this is about 25 litres for the hydraulic oil, so it doesn't get hot. It's probably a bit more than needed for this job. The bottom bits are seats, aluminium seats, which I turned upside down and put these in, and the cable is this steel cable runs right through the aluminium seating, holds it all together.
Far out.
So it's a high tensile steel, so it shouldn't break. It should just keep working.
Yep.
I had trouble keeping them straight, and these are just on a spring, and that just keeps them from moving off the kegs.
Yep.
And they seem to work quite well. They take a fair bit of pressure, and I don't know whether you can see that it's sprung underneath. The whole thing is sprung. The spring goes through under there. Yep. And it's sprung front and backwards, so it's got a flexibility. And there's very little else you need to do with it. Boat's too hard to get in and out of, so I just want something like this. I don't want to go out to sea. I just want to go and do a bit of fishing and come back and go straight on the trail. It drives on the trail and away you go.
Yep.
Jim showed me a modified trailer that you could drive the machine straight on and straight off, so launching is very simple and most importantly dry.
So it's simply modified, but you just tilts up and the trailer drives on it. When the trailer gets up the front, it just goes. Simple as that.
So self levels once the weight transfers over on top of the.
Weight, I just want to know there's enough weight on the front, so as soon as that goes down, the boat stops just short of there, and the weight's all well proportioned. Have these grooves so that the Each wheel sits inside the grooves and it can't slip sideways, can't slip forward or backwards.
What are you calling this? An amphibious tank?
It'd be a good thing to ask people, what should you call the thing? You know, and it's an amphibious vehicle. It's built it's like a bulldozer or a caterpillar or a dozer. So a good name would be good. You could just call it a meerkat because it's merely a caterpillar, or it's merely a boat or a catamaran. So meerkat as a catamaran or a caterpillar, I don't know what to call it.
After realising the possibilities of the meerkat, Jim set his mind towards improvement. He showed me a model that demonstrated some of these upgrades.
Okay, so the track actually sits in a recess.
In a recess, and it can't spin.
So you've got something straight that goes between.
Something straight across. You can see it going straight across there.
Yep.
And it's got a curved edge here, so they can't go sideways. When the next one comes, that keeps it in line.
Yep.
And it just
issues with tension aren't really a problem so much because
it can't slip.
There's nowhere for it to go.
Yeah.
So you're saying before the barrel, the inside of the barrel, the grip it has on the belt is based on the tension between the end barrels. Is that right?
Yeah, I've got an adjustment to tighten up. I don't want too tight because too much pressure on the bearing. So there's a limit. I'm not sure. But this one here, you just get it reasonably tight, and it just can't slip.
Yep.
And you could put something in the middle to hold it up. You could do one thing I was thinking of for something is to push that down further, have a higher track between there,
So you would have basically a little clearance.
Yeah,
would it ride different?
So ride like that.
Yeah.
So there's only two touching the ground.
What would stop it from, tipping back and forward? Would you bias the weight in some way, or?
No, if that was like that, if you're just going uphill, you just lean back a bit. You'd be riding on the back ones up in the middle. If you're going downhill, it'd just go forward a bit.
Yeah, gotcha.
But when you got a steer, it's only got two touching. So like that, you can hardly feel anything. When it's right down, it takes there's a fair bit of pressure there. Up there's almost nil.
Yeah. With the mass that your payload, I suppose you'd call it.
Yeah.
What would happen if you changed the centre of gravity? Does that affect how it floats in the water, or is it because it's the length and you've got such buoyancy over a long length? Does it not make much difference?
No, it makes.
Do you find if you move around?
Yeah, it's very similar to a boat. If you get someone moves over one side of the boat, it just tilt the boat. You're driving along straight and you got 80 kilos goes over and sits on the edge, the boat will go crooked.
Yep.
This might be more sensitive because it's all about floatage. You try to maintain your load in the middle.
Yep. What about if you could design it again? Would you consider raising a platform for more visibility or clearance, or is there something different you would do?
You could make the platform right across the top and have that all underneath.
So that you have basically a wider surface area to...
You could have a frame right across the whole lot. Yep. And the drives go down the outside.
Yeah, okay, yep. So any of the moving parts are underneath?
Everything could be underneath.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. So that's just there for the axles. If the axles, your struts came up above it, it wouldn't make any difference. If you want to have a flat top on it, you put your flat top on, then your drive, even with a chain, your drive could be up here, down onto that, and it would just drive the same way.
Yep.
Just having a flat flame so you could move to keep your balance. You could have 2 or 3 people, and you can maintain balance a lot easier.
Well, I think it's incredible how well this thing performs considering the materials that Jim has made this out of, and it's easy to see that with some careful designs and choices of construction, the Meerkat is a viable machine with lots of applications. He even made some additional outrigger flotation that demonstrates modular expansion to suit different payloads, or change how the machine could perform in different conditions. If anyone is interested in engineering this idea further and want to get in touch with Jim, you can let me know in the comments section below. Cheers for watching guys, I'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Will I be in the YouTube video?
Maybe.
Yay!